Hey guys, welcome back. This recipe is an easy fix for a casual weekend dinner, and you don't really have to reserve it for weekend barbecues with friends and family. But even if you do, trust me, they will be super impressed. Since there are few ingredients here, I definitely recommend splurging out at the butcher shop to buy the best lamb you can get. And you can always ask the butcher to cut it for you. The rest, I can show you. So let's get cooking. For the soya lamb chop, you require very few ingredients. The main thing is the soya, is some oil and its flavoring. I'm going to use red chili here. I'm going to use garlic and I'm going to use ginger. And that's about it. And for some fresh herbs, I'm going to add some parsley. If you don't have parsley, you can use cilantro or you can use coriander. Now again, red chilies gives a very nice color. It's also not too spicy. It is just about right. If you really like it spicy, you can use the green chilies or the bird's eye chilies. They're really, really strong. Now red chilies or green chilies in the center, they have these white seeds there. Now that is what has the main spicy part. I'll cut it and show it to you. Now these are the spicy, which gives a heat to the dish. If you don't like it too spicy, you can always take it off. What you can also do is you can probably use the fat green chilies, which are not really spicy, and they also work well. Finally, chop the red chili. Now after you do your red chili, just make sure you don't scratch your face or don't scratch your eyes, because that is going to really hurt. Red chili is done. So red chili is on. Then we're going to chop the parsley. Now, if you don't have parsley, you can use coriander or cilantro, or you want to use tarragon. Even that would work well. For me, what also goes extremely well with lamb is mint. Mint has a strong flavor though, and I just love mint to go with lamb. It's a very classic combination. So again, you use what you have in your house, and that's the important thing. You don't have to go hard and fast and follow a recipe. You do basically how you like to eat, how your family and friends like to eat, and how you are comfortable with. That's important. So parsley is done. Herbs always give a very nice freshness to your meal. Gives a very nice color visually and makes food a lot more interesting. That's done. Next, moving on to the lamb, I've got these wonderful lamb chops or lamb cutlets. You can ask your butcher to actually trim off or cut them into single pieces. There is a layer of fat around it. A lot of people like to use that. If you're using a grill or a barbecue, it works well. I don't personally like to have the extra fat in the food, so I basically trim out all the fat and the tissue surrounding the eye or the meat around it. Although I am using a lamb chop here, you can use any of the red meat, or you want to use a piece of poultry, chicken, or you want to use vegetables. Even that would work with a marinade. You want to use paneer or you want to use halloumi, the cheeses, even they work well. The whole idea is that you can use a marinade for anything which you want to cook at home. This is my version with the lamb. Now to tenderize the lamb, all you do is with the tip of your knife, you just prick the lamb on the meat side. Now what this does is actually opens up the meat slightly, and you're then able to get more flavors in. It helps to tenderize, and because the quality of the lamb is so good, it literally cooks in 5 to 6 minutes on a grill. That's if you want to have your lamb medium or rare. If you want it well done, obviously go for a little longer. So this is done. I'm going to now start making the marinade, which is the soya and the oil-based marinade for the lamb chop. The marinade for the lamb chop is very, very simple. I'm using an herb-flavored oil. You can use a normal canola oil, rapeseed oil, olive oil, perfectly fine. A couple of tablespoons of oil, and in that goes in dark soya sauce. This is a very interesting marinade. Gives a very nice color, but also gives a very nice flavor. A lot of umami flavors. It's got a very nice strong earthy or the meaty flavor of the umami. Also, when you're adding soya sauce, you have to be very careful with the seasoning, because soya sauce is also quite salty. You do get a light soya sauce. If you can get that, use it. In this, I'm now going to add my red chilies. I'm going to add the chopped parsley, not all of it, half of the chopped parsley. Brown sugar. Now again, I would say a teaspoon of brown sugar. Sugar, what it does is when it cooks on the grill, it becomes caramelized and becomes slightly sticky. I'm also using brown sugar. You can use Muscovado or Demerara. You can also use coconut sugar, works well. The idea of the brown sugar, when it cooks, it gives also a nice glaze, but also a slight brown color, which helps in the dish. I'm going to put garlic. Instead of peeling a garlic and chopping a garlic, I'm going to use a garlic and I'm going to use a grater. And all we do is literally grate some garlic inside. Oops. So all of the garlic actually gets stuck at the bottom, which is fine. Just with your fingers, just take it off. That's the garlic, and same thing with the ginger. Just grate some ginger. Now when you grate ginger and garlic, they release their flavors quite well. If you want, you can even buy a ready-made ginger and garlic paste from the market. Even that works well. Ginger is quite strong, so just go easy on the ginger. I personally love ginger and I love the smell of ginger. So I've got this all ready. And now to mix it up, what I will also do is I'm going to add a tiny quantity of lemon. Not too much, just a wee bit. Lemon, the citricness really helps the marinade. It also helps the pores of the lamb to open up, so all the flavors go in well. A little taste. Ooh. Doesn't need the salt. I kept salt on the side, but doesn't need the salt because soya sauce is salty. It's got a very nice kick. The pungency of the red chili works extremely well. The saltiness of the soya sauce, the garlic and the ginger really makes it work like magic. What you can also do in this probably is to add maybe some sesame seed oil, roasted sesame seed oil, and that will work well. Gently rub the eye of the meat in the marinade. Can you see that? It gives a very nice kind of a glaze. It helps to soak in. Now, when you actually marinate meats or marinate any food, especially non-veg or protein, leave it for a good few hours to soak in the marinade. It helps the flavors to get absorbed better. And lastly, one more. There we are. So lamb chop has been marinated. So it's got soya, it's got oil, it's got red chili, it's got parsley, it's got ginger, it's got green chili and brown sugar. That's all you need. Just a few ingredients. You leave it for a while, approximately 2 hours, and then we're going to grill them in the pan and they're all set. Our lamb chops are now ready with the marinade, and I'm going to grill them on the pan. I have a different kind of a pan which leaves like a grill mark, so works like a grill. It works quite well. But for home use, you can probably use a normal non-stick pan. That will work perfectly fine. If you have a barbecue, put them on a barbecue, it works well. If you want to cook them in the oven, make sure you preheat the oven at 180 degrees to around 190 degrees centigrade, which is approximately 350 degree or to 370 degree Fahrenheit. But always preheat the oven. If you're cooking it in the oven, the best way to do it is to actually put a grill or a wire rack on top of a roasting tray and then keep your meats or whatever you want to grill on top of the wire rack. Now that is important because when you actually cook it in the oven, the air circulates around the meat or the vegetables and gives a very nice barbecue or the grill flavor or the grill finish. If you put it onto a flat tray and you cook it in the oven, or you rather bake it or roast it, the water oozes out and your meat actually begins to boil in the liquid. It will cook through, but it will not give the kind of a barbecue flavor. or barbecue finish. So the best thing is to put onto a wire rack, onto a roasting tray, and in the oven. Before we put the lamb, I'm going to lightly toss the lamb in the marinade. Take out all the excess marinade from the lamb, and I've already heated the grill. You hear the sound? That seals off the meat instantly. Oh, that's the chili. So as you begin to cook, the chili begins to cook. And that is the fun part with food. You know, you actually get to enjoy. Oh, it is so nice. The smell of the soya, the garlic, and the ginger coming through. It is nice. It is very nice. And the last one. It's always nice to actually cook because you cook with the senses. You get to have a feeling of food. You get to see the color. You get to see the thing being cooked in front of you. The aromas really help you. And all the senses actually help you to cook better. I like to eat my lamb just about medium or pink in the center. If you want to make it a little well done, it is your choice. There is no right, there is no wrong. I'm going to flip it over. We will let it cook for a little more. And because this is like a non-stick kind of a grill, you always tend to use less amount of fat. So when you're cooking at home, try and do things which are much easier, which are healthier, which are leaner. You should indulge, you should have your fats and your sugars, but in moderation. Let that sear on one side. And as it begins to sear, you will see the edges, they change color. And that is the first sign when you know that the food is cooking through. Once it comes to almost halfway through, you flip it over to the second side. Look at that. It's such a nice finish. And the colors. Lower the heat down. If you're cooking into a grill or a barbecue at home, the best way to do it is actually grill it onto a high heat, then move it onto a side which has got less amount of heat and let it cook through. When you actually touch the meat, you can feel the doneness of the protein. So if it's too firm, you know it is well done. If it's too soft, you know it is still very rare. And as it cooks, oh, lovely aromas, but the chili really gets you. I'm going to baste it with the marinade. The lamb is cooked on the second side. I'm going to reverse the lamb, give it a little glaze, and we are ready to serve it. But before I do that, I am going to do a little more glazing on the second side. The outside of the lamb is nice and crisp. It means it's been cooked or charred quite well. And you can see from the color, it's nice and brown. It's absolutely fantastic aroma. The smell is so nice, it's so inviting. At this stage, I switch off the heat and let that rest literally for a couple of minutes for it to just soften up very gently. And then I'm going to simply plate it and enjoy. The lamb is rested for a while, just a couple of minutes. And all I have to do is now place the lamb on a plate. When you're plating food, take a little effort and buy a nice plate and present it nicely, because it makes the food a little more interesting. There you go, just 4 pieces of lamb chop on the plate. I'm going to drizzle all the flavors of the marinade. Now this also has a lot of flavor in it. Just sprinkle that, or rather drizzle it. Just glaze it very lightly. A little red chilli, just to give it a little extra kick. I think it's fun. A piece of lemon. The lemon actually cuts down the heat. It makes it a bit less spicy, so you can always squeeze that. And lastly, just sprinkle in the parsley. There you go. As simple and easy as that. Cooks in a jiffy. The main thing is the marinade. So this is my soya ginger lamb chop. So it's soya sauce, it's oil, it's ginger, it's garlic, it's red chili, brown sugar, lemon juice, and most importantly, lots of love. Do try it at home, feed it to your friends and family, and make sure you leave your comments on the section below. Bon appetit and happy cooking.